I want to talk about the significance of psychological safety in leadership. And I know in today's fast-paced and dynamic work environment, fostering psychological safety within teams can seem kind of daunting. Like, what the hell are you talking about, Jason? How can I even approach this? But this is a crucial aspect of effective leadership. And psychological safety, which was coined by a professor, Amy Edmondson, from the Harvard Business School. But it's a belief among team members that they are safe to express their thoughts, take risks, and make mistakes without fear of negative consequences. So this is something that you can work on yourself to make sure, and your team leaders, and you need to have a meeting with them on this. How can we create, and I'm going to tell you why it's so important. Like, we're going to get into the value of this here in a little bit, but as a good human, as a good person, you should want to implement this and do this. You want to make sure everyone, when they're working, that they feel safe. It's so important. We experienced this with COVID. We experienced this with, mental health issues that's going on. This right here is a key that's going to help you. And when you train your leaders to do this right, they're going to be able to create a safety net, and people, when they come, they're going to want to come to work because they're going to feel safer. It's that simple. And so we're going to delve into the importance of psychological safety in leadership. We're going to explore its impact on team performance. And then I'm going to share some practical strategies for creating an environment that nurtures trust, collaboration, and innovation. Psychological safety plays a role in nurturing high-performing teams. And when you're getting to where your teams are performing and you have decentralized leadership and they're leading each other and their projects are growing and they're scaling, then you have adaptability, you have creativity, you have resilience. And when people have they studied high-performing teams. And they found that with psychological safety, you had enhanced team performance, employee engagement was through the roof, and job satisfaction was at a 10. So how as a leader can I foster this sense of security so that that your team leaders and that this team, maybe you're a small business and you have 3 employees. Well, let's make sure you and these 2 other employees or these 3 other employees are feeling safe. So number 1 is embrace innovation and creativity. Number 2 is learn from mistakes and grow. And I'm going to go over each of these. Number 3 is enhance collaboration and communication. Number 4 is foster trust and transparency. And then number 5, finally, is boost employee engagement and well-being. So embracing innovation and creativity. An environment that fosters psychological safety encourages team members to share unconventional ideas and take calculated risks without the fear of backlash. So if you're punitive when somebody fails and you don't take failing as an opportunity to lead and do coaching in a positive way, and when somebody fails, it's an opportunity for you to coach them into self-awareness. And I guarantee you're going to have a much better employee after you get done coaching them and they understand, and they're going to gain a whole new perspective, and you're going to create openness, and you're going to gain respect and trust. So yes, failure is awesome because it allows us to be able to hone and dive in and get that. I'm going to use, this kind of sounds hard, but I'm going to use it as like a sniper shot, this effective way in what we can do as a team. This openness to new perspective drives innovation. It enables teams to come up with creative solutions for some really complex problems. And when you create this safe space for experimentation, you unlock your team's full potential and you're staying ahead of the curve. Because how competitive is everything nowadays? If you're allowing experimentation and you've created a safe space for that with the team and they openly talk about that, or maybe you hop on a call with them and there's 12 of you in a Zoom and you guys are playing around with the experimentation and you're just getting like all pumped up and excited. Our CEO does that. He's really good at that. He loves out of the box thinking and creativity and experimentation, and he gets pumped up, like super excited. He loves that. And so People want to bring new ideas of things that they've been thinking about, and they come prepared, and you can tell they've put a lot of time and effort in understanding it. And it's something a lot of times we can get ahead of the curve because we weren't even thinking it to be that way. It was that way, and we move in that direction just based off of that. So that's embracing innovation and creativity. Number 2, learning from mistakes and growth. In psychologically safe environments, mistakes are seen as learning opportunities rather than failures. This encourages team members to take responsibility for their actions. So they're going to say, hey, you know what? I got this learning opportunity, our so-called failure. So we're going to take some action on this. We're going to talk about this openly. We're going to learn from the errors, and we're going to develop some new skills to solve this. Leaders who promote psychological safety will enable their teams to iterate rapidly, adapt to changing circumstances, and grow both individually and collectively. Do you get this learning mindset right now? Do you see how learning mindsets create massive amounts of growth? Think about that. Massive amounts of growth. You're going to be able to iterate rapidly. You're going to be able to adapt and pivot rapidly. You're going to be able to change quickly because you're not in a fixed mindset. You're in a learning mindset. So you can change, and the team's willing to listen to you and will change with the direction that you're giving or the vision that you're giving them. And more importantly, you guys should have a shared vision and you guys come up with it together. And then you're going to be able to see people grow. This is the beautiful part about coaching. When you spend, as John Maxwell said, when you spend 75% of your time communicating with people daily, you see them grow. And it's so beautiful to watch individuals grow. It's so beautiful to watch a team grow together. So awesome. It's one of my favorite things to see. And then next is enhancing collaboration and communication. When team members feel psychologically safe, they're going to engage in open and honest communication. They're not going to keep their mouth shut. The introvert, if you've created enough safety in the team, that introvert's going to open up and talk and be like, whoa, guys, all the extroverts are talking right now. Let me come with a deeper perspective, a different perspective from an introvert. They're going to be able to have honest communication. That's going to be such wise what they say. It may be a different perspective, but do not, make sure you validate that introvert because they're going to come with something that they thought about a lot. It's super deep. The extroverts are just running out the mouth like, blah, 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 blah. So which fosters collaboration and synergy. It cultivates an atmosphere of trust, and leaders can assure that critical information is going to be shared. It's not going to be hidden for fear of repercussions. Constructive feedback, back and forth. It's gone. You can see it being exchanged in the team. And decisions are made with greater accuracy and effectiveness. What does that lead to? Growth, return on investment, more profit, cash to the shareholders, to you as a small business, whatever it may be. And that shouldn't be, it's like, if you're narcissistic like that, manipulative, and you're like, I'm going to make sure we have psychological safety so that I can make more money and we can grow faster. That's not it. This is the organic outcomes of you loving your people and serving them. Next is fostering trust and transparency. Trust is the number one key component for high-performing teams. And when you promote psychological safety, you create an environment in which team members feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, opinions, and concerns without fear of judgment or retribution. That transparency right there, builds strong foundations of trust. The scaffolding goes away, and now you have, which most teams just are built with this scaffolding. They're temporary and they go away. Employees are temporary and they go away. Especially nowadays with millennials, you build a strong foundation of trust and they don't have a fear of judgment or retribution, and they're valued, and we can share thoughts, opinions, and concerns. Those millennials will stay with you for a long time, which is essential for productive working relationships and then team cohesion. You want that. Boosting employee engagement and well-being. When individuals feel valued, respected, and secure in their work environment, they are more likely to be fully invested in their tasks. They're going to take pride, which is so rare nowadays. Most people don't take pride in their work, in their contribution. And when you coach, you need to let people know, and you need to let your team leaders know this. They need to show how that person individually is contributing. The value of their contributions is so important. This heightened sense of engagement leads to increased job satisfaction, better work-life balance, and improved mental health. Leaders who prioritize psychological safety not only boost their team's productivity, but also contribute to a healthier and happier workforce because you're nurturing an atmosphere of inclusivity, and support. And leaders foster workplace culture. That's what you do. And guess what happens? When you have this atmosphere, you're going to retain top talent, you're going to reduce burnout, and you're going to drive long-term organizational success. Every person you hire, you should have a 5 and 10-year plan for them. And let them know that. The significance of psychological safety in leadership cannot be overstated. Cultivating an environment where team members feel secure in expressing their thoughts, taking risks, and learning from mistakes, leaders lay the groundwork for innovation, collaboration, and this learning mindset of continuous growth. If you prioritize psychological safety, you will unlock the full potential of your team. You're going to have increased performance, employee engagement, and job satisfaction. And this evolving business landscape that we have right now, with everything that's going on, past COVID and what's going on in the world and all this turmoil, you need these principles of psychological safety, because this is what is going to not only give you, the leader, the buy-in that you need, but when you foster trust, transparency, and well-being within your team, your organization, sky's the limit. Because this sustainable success, this positive, thriving work culture that you've created through psychological safety is not being done in a lot of places. Watch what happens whenever you begin to make psychological safety a priority.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.